I'm listening to the box like a seashell. What's it have to say? Is that a dog panting? Hello, I'm Jessie Janae, and you're watching Unboxing Things. We're gonna unbox and decode what is going on with the e-commerce packaging that you touch every day. So, first things first, let's see what brand is in my magical mailbox today. Ooh, okay, we have Barkbox, but not any Barkbox. It's actually Bark Bright, Barkbox's doggy toothpaste. I don't know how much time you spend inside your dog's mouth, but it's not always a clean place, and it really ought to be. Dental health extends canine lives. If you were shipping an extremely innovative canine dental solution, how would you ship it? What would you think about? Well, what I'd like to draw your attention to is this subtle detail that I can already tell they've incorporated. See this subtle swoop? I think it's meant to look like a smile. That's kind of cool. What else can I discern? Well, it's pretty compact shipment. Feels like the products are tightly inside. We'll see when we get in there. Also, it's actually closed with 2 pieces of filament tape. Filament tape actually has glass strands running vertical through the tape that give it strength. So kind of like a reinforced tape, and there's just 2 small pieces on the sides. That is the only closure, the only like sticky closure keeping this box together, aside from the construction itself, which is like a front tuck box, but again, instead of just being standard, you've got this custom cut shape. Custom cut boxes are made with cutting dies. A cutting die is sort of like a box cookie cutter that actually cuts out the corrugated sheet. So you can go with any design you want, but working with a packaging engineer to make that custom design is the best way to incorporate subtle elements like this. What we're looking at here is a roll-end top tuck box. What this box says to me is that it's economical and practical. It looks like a very efficient form factor for this product, and also it has efficient printing on the outside. What do I mean? Well, you're really working with one color printing for all of the visuals and then a second color for this barcode. That means this barcode was actually printed on a separate printing plate. You can print 2 colors in one pass with flexographic printing machines that actually have 2 rollers integrated that can do 2 colors at once. That is most likely what's occurring on this box. The white is where they've incorporated the visual elements. You've got Bark Bright here. You've got a kind of logo type here, and then also a graphic here. Is this a swoosh or is this a dog head? You be the judge. One of my favorite parts about the external design so far is that this says open wide. This type also covers over the edge of the box. I find that that graphics that go over the edge of the box are underutilized. Typically when people look at a die line that's flat and they're placing their graphics on that box design, they avoid the edges, assuming that the edge is like a precipice that you fall off and you're like, bah! But actually, the edge is just fine. When you print the edge, you're fine because you're printing it when it's flat and then bending the box later, folding it later. So printing over the edge can be an effective way of kind of bringing the visual and bringing the eye around the corner. Open wide, of course, is also a double entendre. Open wide, dog mouth to do the brushing. Open wide, box because you just received it. Clever. Lastly but not leastly, barkbright.com. Gotta get your URL on there. Remind people who maybe didn't order this but are seeing it on someone's doorstep that they ought to care a little bit more about dental canine health as well. Other practical considerations. There's a little note here. Stay out of the trash. Please recycle this box. And also dimensions. Dimensions and barcode are most likely used in fulfillment, not by the end user, of course, although someone curious can get the exact dimensions here. But this message is meant for the end user. Sounds basic, reminding someone to recycle a box, but actually reminding someone when they're holding the box is really powerful. Messaging directly to a consumer that this box is recyclable is a little not so subtle reminder to actually do the behavior. Because what's the point of having recyclable packaging if it doesn't get recycled? Then of course you've got your 4x6 shipping label here. Standard thermal shipping label. Thermal shipping label, what does it mean? It means that it actually has ink embedded into it that is heat activated, so this color does not require ink. The actual black is developing from the paper itself. Really efficient process. These labels are really inexpensive and almost universal in fulfillment. This box is addressed to my dog's name. That's a cool detail. Let's do what they've suggested. Let's open up wide. I'm gonna grab my scissors, open them wide, and I'm going to cut the filament tape. Okay, now I can open it. Whoo, heart goes a flutter when I see a little printing inside a box. Love it so much. Bark Bright. They're coming through for me visually because the inside of the box is white. It's actually crafting this bright experience for me as I see it visually. Clean teeth never tasted so good. They're telling me that this is probably flavored in a way that my dog will actually appreciate. Now, this is important. When I see the white here and then the craft on the outside, this tells me something key about the construction of this item. This piece of corrugate, the flat piece of material that the box was made out of, started as a craft white piece of corrugated. That is more expensive than craft, but less expensive than white, having white on both sides, because this material, actually bleaching it white, requires extra processing than the natural craft color. It does add a little bit of cost, but it allows you to get this bright experience, this navy color, and also crisper kind of contrast, because of course there's more contrast on a white surface. Then this piece of paper is also custom printed and has a really nice smooth hand feel. This paper is custom printed and wraps around the products. It's a paper band that is actually just printed and then custom cut, give a little bit of give, about 1/2 inch on either side, and it really creates a beautiful presentation. When I open it, now I can just see the product really beautifully. And it creates a sensation of unboxing and like a gifting experience, but this is actually a very inexpensive piece of material. It's a single band of paper. A band of paper like this that actually has a little bit of body to it, a little bit of thickness, is much more efficient in fulfillment than tissue paper. There's this sort of conception that tissue paper feels like a gift, feels fancy, but tissue paper is extremely thin. And in fulfillment, it can often tear. It's actually really, if you've ever watched someone pick up a piece of tissue paper, it's like literally doing a delicate, like surgical operation, and it rips. It often doesn't actually cradle or protect the product. Tissue paper has amazing applications, but this paper with a little bit more body to it that's printed on both sides creates a really nice effect, but is easier to actually execute in fulfillment. When something is easier in fulfillment, it saves you money because your fulfillment partners, whether it's an external 3PL or you doing it in-house with your own labor force, costs you money. The actual minutes that it takes to pack every box costs you money. And of course, you don't want any wasted or damaged packaging supplies either. So efficiency in fulfillment quite literally saves real dollars. All right, so let's get in here. I'm going to open this and then show you the product. So here is the Barkbite product, and then here is the actual triple enzymatic toothpaste for dogs. Clean teeth never tasted so good. These are my dental sticks that I actually put the toothpaste in, the doggie chews it, and voila, it has a brushed mouth. I'll come back to this, but let's finish here. If I take this out, again, this band of paper, you can see it for its true nature. It is just a rectangle. You've been exposed, paper band. So simple and yet so effective. And again, you've got your doodle dog head on here in a repeat pattern, printed both sides. Very simple, also very effective. Putting that to the side, of course, there's a little gem in the bottom of this box. I knew this team would do something clever. What is it? It's little alien creatures that are making smiley faces at me and telling me that I am doing an amazing job with my dog's dental health. I feel good about myself when I see these characters because I know that they believe in me and they believe in my ability to keep my dog alive. I'm going to bring your attention to a detail that I do not often see. The outside of the box here, this craft color, folds inside because that's the construction of the box. So normally these flaps would be craft colored, but the box looks white all over inside to the naked eye. How did they do it? Well, they actually printed the flap with white ink. I'm going to show you by deconstructing the box real quick. But now, potentially, you can see more clearly. They've actually printed white on the craft colors side of the box so that when the box is folded, the entire interior looks white. It's an interesting move. Your naked eye does not really catch it, but it really creates consistency in the box, and they're not adding a new color of printing to the outside because they were already using white ink. For the dental sticks, you actually have a flexible pouch. It has a tear notch that you open with, and then it's resealable with a zipper. It has a gusset. A gusset actually gives it girth here, but also allows it to stand on its own. It's a convenient package. You often see this packaging used in food, something like granola, but of course it can be used for pet products and many other things. We've worked with underwear companies and other types of brands that use flexible pouches as well. There are a variety of material constructions for flexible packaging. This looks to be a plastic that starts out clear, which we can see because we have this clear window here, and then printed with matte inks in several colors. I see 2 different blues and of course the dominant white color. That gives the overall packaging its effect. There's no see-through window on the back, but the see-through window is a primary component of the front. So they give instructions on how to actually apply the toothpaste into the chew stick. The illustration and the copy really bring it to life, so I don't have to research this online. So this item is actually meant to be consumed by a dog, and therefore it's being consumed by a live thing, and you really want to know when does it last until, how good is it. So if they had an issue, which of course I'm sure they do not, they have the lot code to actually trace down any product that's having some sort of problem, but also the expiration date applies to all product. So this expires 9/22, so that means that these sticks, I better get brushing. And then of course you have your enzymatic toothpaste as well, matching colorway, the 2 colors of blue and then also the white. This kind of brings everything together, matching the box, matching the paper, and really kind of creating a cohesive experience among all the components. I'm meant to take these 2 pieces and put them in my dog storage place, wherever that may be, and these components can actually be recycled right away. I think it's time to roll in the recap. Bark Bright. There's a lot to love because we're talking about cleaning dog teeth. But let's talk about what there is to love about the packaging specifically. First, it's compact. I love a compact package because it's efficient and sustainable. Second, it's clever. The packaging is clever. Subtle details like the little smile, the wrap over text that says open wide. I just think that there's a lot of clever detailing that draws me into the experience. And third, it's convenient. This comes as a subscription. Also, this gives me a form factor that makes brushing my dog's teeth seem fun. Let me repeat, brushing my dog's teeth seem fun. You gotta dose up the convenience and cleverness to make me feel that way. This has been Bark Bright Unboxed.